welcome back to Dirt 5. Today we start with Cape Town Stadium Showdown at Cape Town Stadium in South Africa for an Ultracross event. Soldierboy's up first and he's driving the Porsche 911 RGT of the Rally GT class. Now if you're enjoying this series or any content on the channel, I know I've said it before, but please subscribe, drop a like on the video, that does help as well. Let us know in the comments what you enjoy driving. As the title in the episode says, picking the right car does help. And we're driving a new car here. It's the Porsche 911 RGT. We've not driven this car before. But I think this first race encompasses why picking the vehicle is really important and getting it right even more so. So off to a decent start, already up to 9th place, 8th place now, back to 9th, up to 7th. It's going to change a little bit in this first couple of corners. What I will say straight away is this stadium race is one I wasn't looking forward to. Wolverine didn't fancy it. And I wasn't looking forward to it, mainly because it is so tight, you can easily hit a barrier, it's so easy to crash out, and he didn't want to do it and I didn't have a choice. And then using a new car as well, kind of doesn't bode well. So far we're doing okay, we got a bit tangled up with other cars, we're up to 6th place already, and I don't think we're doing too bad. Turned in very early there, messed up that whole corner, dropped a position back. This car itself has really good speed, I am enjoying using this car. As there's actually one just ahead of us as well, which we're going to go past now on the brakes. 2 positions gained in 1 move there on the corner, up to 4th. It is very quick. It handles pretty well. I was pretty impressed with how well this handles, especially on some of the sandy dirt. Tarmac, really good, really strong on the tarmac. Did catch up with the car ahead of us there, but hit the back of it and it slowed us down. Side swiping out as we take the corner as we come towards the end of the first lap, and we are in 3rd place. 1st and 2nd are straight ahead of us. That is not bad. Got to get this corner right now. Hard on the brakes, turned too early again. So messed up the start of the corner, messed up the end because we couldn't get a decent exit. And then we're going to squeeze it up the inside here to take 1st place. But we need an exit, just about getting the exit okay there. Drifting a little bit, getting caught up with the other car, being slammed into the barrier. Probably our fault, but then we should have been left a bit more room maybe. But we're still in 1st. Can we hold this together now? So we've been a bit scrappy since we got the lead, but we've got to try and hold on. Left-hander now going very deep there, under pressure from the other cars. I think they're in the same car as us, 2nd place. I think they're in the Porsche as well, looking at that. Right-hander now, got to get the braking right, try and drift this round, but gone very deep. Managing to keep off the barrier. Exit speed wasn't too bad in the end, but I thought we might have messed it up a little bit. We're okay. The right-hander followed by a quick left-hander here. Got to get this right through the tunnel. Car in 2nd place has caught us up. We've got to keep an eye on them. Left-hander, not too bad. Right-hander coming up here. Long right-hander. It's a bit sharp as you go round. Finishing off the lap. We are finishing the lap in 1st place, but 2nd place is hot on our tail. We need a perfect lap now to keep this lead. Left-hander, again, too deep. That's every lap we've made that mistake on that corner. Just too deep into the corner. This corner not too bad, drifting it nicely. Got to get the car out quickly, try not to get too bogged down with the acceleration. Not too bad, just missing the barrier there. That could have ended up really bad for us. Left-hander, got to keep it nice. Drifting it nicely there, but then going too deep for the next. It's a really slow exit. That's going to give the car behind a chance to catch up, and here he is. We now need to really concentrate on this lap. There's so many times now we're making silly mistakes because we're just going too deep into the corner or too narrow, and that's what's allowing the cars behind to catch up. Going too deep again there, hitting the barrier. This is going to be a close race to the finish the way this is going. If we can't get this car to do what we want it to do, the car is really good. I think it's the driving that's the problem. Myself, obviously. Going completely wrong there, scraping along the barrier, and there's 2 cars now on our tail. And we've got to be really spot on here. We're going to come across the last corner. We've got to finish this nicely, throttle down, and we do end up winning the race. The car has looked better, I'll give you that. But if we look at the lap leaderboard, the actual end result board, that one, the top 3 cars were all the same. They're the Porsche 911 RGT. That tells me we picked the right car. Now, the next 2 races of this episode, we probably didn't pick the right car. One was because it was a new car, and we'll talk about that in a minute. The last race, we've had a running battle with this class, and we will discuss that further in that race. But that is the first race of the episode done. 1st place finish for Soldierboy, and a new car to boot, and a pretty nice car to be fair. So next up we have the Golden Jackal Namche Bazaar Reverse. I've no idea if I've said that correctly. Apologies if I haven't. For in Nepal for a Land Rush event. Wolverine is in the car for this one. He decided to try something new. So he decided to drive the Chevrolet Silverado 1500 of the pre-runner class. Now, he didn't know it was going to be on snow, admittedly. And it's forecast heavy rain as well. So it's going to get slippery. As it's a new car, he doesn't know how this handles, how quick it is. But it looks nice. I'll give you that. Let's see how he gets on. Off the line, not too bad. Getting a bit bogged down because the car ahead of him didn't get going. And he went straight into the back and just couldn't move. The starts are the worst, I think, because if you get bogged down, get caught up with other cars, you just struggle to get any power down. Now, not a bad start. Up to 8th place already. Drifting the back end a little bit there. Car is looking fairly stable. You can see on some of the acceleration zones he's struggling a little bit to put the power down. But other than that, I think he's doing okay. And the vehicle itself is doing okay. But there are cars getting away from him now. He doesn't seem to go much quicker. This is full throttle. And he just doesn't seem to have much pace. Now, that's not a Wolverine issue. That is a car issue. And I think it's the Silverado that is the issue here. I don't think he's got the pace, which is going to put him at a disadvantage for the rest of the race. He now needs to try and hopefully gain some time in the corners, but it doesn't also corner very well. This is the risk when you try new cars against the ones you know do well, but we kind of decided to make a concerted effort to try and have every car and just at least drive them once. As long as we get a stamp, we still pass, so that's not a big deal. At least we're getting to try new things. Right-hander here, he's up to 6th place, so pretty good start so far. He's going to try and nip on the inside here and get 5th. He can just about take it there. But you can already see the cars from 4th to 1st. They're galloping ahead, and I don't think he's going to catch them. But he's going to try his best. 4th place now, or 5th place, however you want to call it, is fighting back. Well, in fact, we've dropped 2 positions, haven't we? No, we're not. We've dropped 1. 6th place. I got confused with positions then. Too deep into the corner. It was focusing too much on the car, trying to overtake him there. Completely misjudged the corner, but he's going to fight back here. It's still in 6th place. He's going to go between the middle, try and take 2 cars, but you can see the acceleration of the other cars. They're with him. He can't get away from them. The right-hander, he takes up very wide, but actually gets a decent exit. But he has lost the position. We are going to end the first lap. He's going to be in 6th place, with it all to do to hold and maintain this. I don't think any more than 5th is viable at this point, unless the car's head make a mistake or something major happens. I don't think any higher than 5th is going to happen, but we shall see. The Silverado just doesn't seem to have the pace. Left-hander now drifting it nicely, and this is where the traction of the car does help a lot. It does drift nicely around the corners, just doesn't seem to have any much power. There's no oomph to it. And this is one thing he was complaining of, was just, there's nothing there. The cars behind him are still on his tail. He's not getting away from them. He's definitely not catching the car's head. Very deep for this corner here, and he's rolled the car. It's still rolling. It's still rolling. It's still rolling. And it's on its roof. The car got reset automatically. Yeah, that was a big crash. He rolled, I don't know, I didn't even count how many times. But he manages to get going again, which is the important thing. He's dropped from 5th to 12th. Now he's got it all to do in a car that doesn't seem to have any ultimate pace. So what can he bring out of this race now? He was really annoyed with himself for actually rolling the car. Just got too deep into the corner and then tried to turn and correct it and just didn't work. But let's see what he can do. We already said 4th place to 1st was probably out of the question anyway. Well, now it probably is even more so. But he can still gain some positions back here and get a decent finish. He's guaranteed a stamp by the looks of it. He has cleared one of the objectives for the race. The 9th place, 10th place is being overtaken now on the outside here, and it is just the superior pace of the cars around him that's really telling on straight. Corners though, this car isn't too bad. If you get it right, it does seem to do okay. It's just the ultimate pace is the letdown really, which is a shame. It's a nice looking car otherwise. The 9th place now, over the bridge he goes. He's trying to catch these cars up. I think he's going to stick up the inside. Not quite, yes he can. Barging his way through, putting his elbows out to make sure he gets through. We're going to start the final lap now. Wolverine is going to start in 9th place. What can he do to gain any positions? Up the inside of 1 there, he still is the inside. Up to 7th now. 6th, 5th and 4th. Is it 6th and 5th I think are in view. I don't think 4th is there. It may just be. No, it's just the two. The leaders haven't gone as far ahead as I thought, considering he rolled the car, lost quite a bit of time. They haven't really got away as much as I thought they would have done. But 7th place currently. Can he get anything back? It's at 8th place now. The cars, you can see the superior pace again. His car is struggling to do much more than 60. Hit 70 though. He does really well there, but doesn't do well on some of the other places. Really weird that. Left-hander battling hard now. He's in 7th place. I think the leaders have actually come back towards. There must have been a major issue because they've all come back to the main pack, whereas they were really well clear before the crash. So unless something's happened in that group, I'm not sure. They have been brought back though. But I don't, unless he can pull something out of the back now, I don't think he's going to gain a massive amount. 8th place currently. Right-hander going nicely between two, taking 7th again. Now, as long as he can hold on to 7th, that's a decent finish after rolling the car. Left-hander, is that gap between him and the car in 6th doesn't seem to be changing, which is always the issue when you haven't got the ultimate speed. But he's trying his best. We've got the right-hander again here. Car is catching on behind him, but that's because of their ultimate speed that he doesn't have. Trying to drift around to the right-hander. Needs a decent exit. Just managed to get in the way of the other car, so he stops from overtaking. He enjoys hitting other cars. I keep telling him he shouldn't, but he does. Right-hander now still in 7th place. He does seem to be catching 6th, but I think it's too little too late at this point. Over the line we're going to go, and we're going to finish the race in 7th place. Now, I will say straight away, decent result. Considering he rolled the vehicle, a decent result. But if you look at also the other cars, the other person in Silverado was last. And once again, the Raptor was top of the pile. I think we're going to need to buy that Raptor and give it a go, because it does seem recently to way ahead in the pre-runner class. It tends to win a lot of races, and we always tend not to do as well because of that car. So we may have to have a look at the Raptor at some point, although we try not to use the car that's probably the best. But I think we should give it a go. It's one we'll have to buy by looks of things. But decent race, Wolverine, a 7th place finish. I think he did well to come back there. So the final race of the episode, we're in the Wild West Off-Road Fest at Sandstone Valley, Arizona for Stampede race. Soldierboy's back in the car for this one. He is driving the Jimco Unlimited Class 1 of the Unlimited Class. Now, as I said earlier, the Unlimited Class is the class of vehicle that we've struggled with. I've got one I prefer, which is 1,000 brake horsepower. Wolverine has the one he prefers, which is the one I'm driving, the Jimco. Every time I drive the Jimco, the one I prefer wins. Whenever he drives the Jimco, the one I prefer wins. When I drive my car, the Jimco wins. Work that one out. But it's always been this class of race we've struggled with. We just can't pick the right car. My preference of car needs long straights. It's not a very technical car. It doesn't like lots of corners. Whereas the Jimco prefers a lot of corners. It does do well in the cornering department. And as you can see here, already up to 2nd place in fact. We're chasing down 1st. So doing really well so far. 2nd place already, but getting a bit outsourced. I had to brake heavy to avoid the rocks there, which I thought was going to cause me a big issue if I'd messed that up. Left-hander now, cutting across the water as much as possible. Got to be a bit careful because you can actually get reset if you cut too much of that water to make that corner tighter. Drifting nicely out the corner, but then getting caught up on the barrier, that wasn't a good exit in the end. Down to 4th, we're going to try and take 3rd again here on the inside. And we're up into 3rd. And as I say, the Jimco isn't a bad car, but it is definitely a car more for handling than pure power. Whereas the car I do prefer is pure power. But I did notice, I did recognise the name of the track and thought, right, okay, I need a handling car. My one will not do well with these tight corners. Yes, it has the grunt and the full-on speed, but this track doesn't really favour speed. It favours cornering. So I did go for Wolverine's car, the Jimco, just to see if maybe I'd made the right decision for one. And in the first race, we definitely made the right choice of car. Second race, we didn't. The Silverado was the wrong choice. And in this race, well, currently, I would say we picked a good car. Maybe we have got the choice right. And yeah, some of it is down to driving, admittedly, as well. It's not all down to the car itself. As you saw us get catch up, caught up on the rocks there, that wasn't a really good way of taking a bend, really, was it? We're back up to 3rd place as we take the positions back again. Got to really narrow down on these small mistakes and try not to keep making them, because obviously the 2 cars ahead of us are now getting away because of that mistake we made. Left-hander through the water, couple of cars cut it a little bit more than we did. So we're down a fourth now. Got the inside here, forcing our way through in Wolverine's true style. All those soldier boys in the car, just trying to, take a leaf out of his book. Right-hander now, we're still in third place. The rain is coming down, so grip is now going to become an issue. Right-hander again, nicely done, and over the jump. Are we going to maintain our lead at the end of the jump? Just really tight right-hander here, going a bit too tight. I had to correct myself. Left-hander followed by another quick right-hander, and this is why my preference of car wouldn't have worked, is because them tight corners there would have caused an issue. But across the line in third place, we are overtaken. I was just after the line. We are going to get third place back as we drift it round to the next jump. And over the jump. First and second, I don't think we've got a chance of catching them. I think third is our best result we're going to get out of this if we can maintain. They just seem to be miles ahead of us. Now, is it because we have picked the wrong car once again? Well, we'll know at the end, because I'm not too sure what they're driving at this point. I haven't been close enough to really tell, which is probably telling of how bad it's been. We're going to get caught on the rocks here. Oh no, that was a bad hit. Just caught the edge of the rocks, took ourselves on the two wheels, and that wasn't the way to take the corner. Just lost concentration more than anything else. Just wasn't concentrating enough on the line was taken into the corner, and we've dropped us down to 7th place from 3rd. We had a podium and we've lost out on it so far, and it's near the end of the lap. This is the short technical section of the circuit. We're now dropping the 9th from another mistake there. We need to quickly get some positions back, otherwise this race is gone, and it is not going to be a good result. Currently 9th place, getting caught up on the cars ahead, which obviously slows you down. We're going to try and squeeze through the middle here, overtaking 3 cars on the jump, up to 6th place. I don't think it's going to be a podium, but if we can get this narrow section done, we're okay. Right-hander, it's going to be a straight run to the finish. I think we're going to hold on, and we are indeed. It's going to be a 6th place finish, and a tough 6th place. We should have had a podium, we should have had 3rd, but just too many mistakes. And if you look, it's not even the usual people at the top. My choice of car is to the bottom. Armada Engineering, a car we've not even tried before, has won that race 1st and 2nd. My normal choice of car is down the bottom. So we definitely picked the wrong car, but at the same time, my choice would have been worse. So we'll take that as a slight win, maybe. Not too sure. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse, maybe. Some mistakes obviously cost us time. We weren't catching 1st and 2nd, though. That Armada needs to be looked at again. There's a few cars we haven't had a chance to use, and I think after this episode, we do need to be having a look at new ones. But again, does picking the right car does really help a lot, and we haven't done that in some of the races. That is it for today. As I said at the start of the video, if you are enjoying this series or any content on the channel, don't forget to subscribe. A like on this episode does help as well. And we'll see you next time for more Dirt 5.